I'm kind of a mind. I'm going to preface this video that it is amazing the things that humans can accomplish once they've abandoned dignity. So I'll go ahead and say it for anybody that might be squeamish. This may not be the video for you. I've been in contact with a lot of folks this morning and done a lot of things. I've been up since 5:30, going back to that abandoning dignity thing. I can barely walk when I get up, so I have to get up kind of early and get started moving around. Some mornings I piss myself because I can barely walk from a spinal injury that I got working and doing my very best for an employer that could not have given two shits about me or anyone else except their bottom line. You young fellas, keep this in mind before you give your all to an employer. They don't give a fuck about you. They'll replace you the day after you quit. And anyway, that said, so I got up at 5:30 and gathered up all my trash because today's trash day. Can't take it out because the dogs are out, so I waited until I left. But made breakfast, this, that, and the other. Anyway, you ponder the phrase busy as a bee, and that's virtuous and that's right, and we should be busy and we should be working and we should always be working. And today that means working for somebody else to make their life better. They return to us what they deem that we are worthy of. Sometimes that's enough, sometimes it isn't. I guess it depends on what you do. And but the reality is, fucking roads closed, fuck me. But the reality is that no matter what you do, you still sell a significant portion of your life to someone else at a discounted price. It's time that you could spend improving yourself. It's time that you could spend doing something other than what they are purchasing that time for. And going back to busy as a bee, ponder the bee for a moment. The bee is a wild creature. It does not need you or me or anyone else to live. It lives by its own labor. It succeeds or fails by its own labor. And that's just how it is. Nature can be cruel. But a bee is flying along one day, and this is kind of coarse, but he smells some good old pussy because some lady bee has sat up on a branch and let out a bee sex fart, and him and 10,000 of his buddies go over there to that lady bee and try their luck. And in the course of this, they swarm up on that branch. And so right there, 10,000 bees. 10,000 bees can make a lot of honey. And so while they're trying their luck, some asshole beekeeper comes along, cuts off the branch, throws them in a box, and says, now you work for me. I'm going to put this out there right now. This is not anything that has to do with gender or sex. It has more to do with the system that keeps us separated by gender or sex or politics or any other method that they have at their disposal. Because if every bee that beekeeper just threw in the box realized they'd been fucked, they would fly away, but they don't. And the beekeeper says, now you work for me. And they work spring, summer, and fall, and they make honey. And all the time they're making this honey, that beekeeper's sitting back and he's signing contracts for who he's going to sell his honey to. Okay? And then he comes along in the fall and he takes 75% of what they work for and leaves them just enough to survive. Just enough to survive, and continue doing that for him for as long as they live. And every year they have 75% of their labor stolen from them, you know. And then if AB should happen to protest this system and sting the beekeeper, it's a minor inconvenience. Most beekeepers get stung quite frequently during the course of collecting honey, and they just accept it as the cost of doing business. If that bee should sting him, for the bee, it is a fatal act. He will die. And that is our society. And this is held up as a virtue. It's held up as, you should do this. This is the way you should be. Ponder the bee. Be busy as a bee. Look at the bee. You know, and I'm saying truly ponder the bee, you know, for a moment. Stop paying your taxes. Stop paying your rent. Stop paying anything. It's a minor inconvenience to whoever is collecting that debt. The money that you've worked hard for, you know, and it is a minor inconvenience. They'll just put you in jail or kick you out of your apartment or take your car or whatever it is you stop paying. But for you, it is a fatal act. So take that and do what you want to with it. Don't really care. Just my thoughts for the day. Thanks. Love y'all.